So I know I did not post yesterday. This is just taking some getting used to with the new job and figuring out what my new schedule is like, figuring out when I want to post, and then forgetting that I said I was going to post in the afternoon. So we're probably going to be changing up schedules soon. Most likely it'll be like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. If once everything calms down and all my training is done, maybe it'll go back to every day. We'll find out. But that leads me to today's topic. Life rolls on. So something that I've always noticed is that every time I have a change, it takes me a while to adjust. So after I left my last job, I still felt like antsy. Like I still had to be places. I still had to do things. And the schedule that I had been keeping kind of weighed on me. Now, at the same time, I was just had this overwhelming exhaustion from all the work that I'd been doing. So at the same time, I just felt like I needed to sleep. But that didn't change what I felt like when I woke up. Oh, I've got to be places. Did I wake up late? Did I do this? Did I do that? I don't have to do anything. I'm at home right now. So it takes me usually a little bit of time to adjust to my new schedules. And fortunately for me at the time, I kind of got a little distraction. I was planning my wedding. So those 2 weeks prior to the wedding, I was just threw myself into that, made sure everything was ready, made sure everybody knew what was going on, made sure everybody that needed to know something knew what they were doing, and verifying with people and doing all sorts of running around doing that stuff. And then came coming home. Now, I had quite a few things I had to take care of when I got home, and a lot of changes to my life are happening, things that I didn't know, I suddenly found out. So it was a lot at once. And again, I was trying to get used to being at home again and trying to decide, okay, where am I going to work next? Am I going to work next? And after everything, I just talked to my husband. We decided I was going to stay home and relax. And we talked a little bit about all of this. But what I want to focus on today is how long it took me to get used to just being here. So I don't have kids yet. It's just me and my husband and our 2 cats. So my schedule kind of was whatever I wanted it to be up until about 4 o'clock. So at 4 o'clock, my husband gets off work and I start dinner because it takes him roughly 30 minutes to get home on a good day. And so I start cooking, and by the time he gets here, usually everything's about done, and I had that timed. Partly because I needed to know this when I was also working, to know when I needed to get home and make food, or what times frames were going to work, and so on and so forth. So when it was just me at home again, I decided, okay, 4, make dinner, have dinner with my husband, kind of spend time with him, get ready to go to bed. And I would get up in the mornings with him, pack his lunch. Usually he likes to take the leftovers, partly because he really likes his food, apparently. Pack his lunch, make his coffee, so that when he's done getting ready for work, all he has to do is come, grab his coffee mug, grab his lunch bag, and his work bag, and head out the door. And he's ready to go. So that's what I was doing every morning. However, I was still really exhausted, so I was sleeping. So the first week or 2, I just spent most of my time sleeping, recovering, trying to feel like normal again. And then I had this overwhelming wave of, you're failing. You're not doing enough. You're not putting in your part of this relationship. You're not doing your chores. You're not working, so you have to be cleaning the house, and you have to be doing all of this stuff. And some of it I couldn't really do on my own, because some of it was like, we had piles of wedding gifts in our living room because I wasn't going to open them by myself. I was going to wait for him to open them. And so I couldn't get that done. But at the same time, I still felt like I needed to clean things and I had to do things. And there was all of this stuff that I was still adjusting. And I couldn't figure out. And it's not as common a thing, I guess, for women to stay home and be stay-at-homes. Just partly because we got a lot of offer and not everybody wants to do it. And I don't really enjoy just being home by myself right now, because I feel like I could still be working and putting in my part. But at that point in time, that's what I needed. So that's what we did. But it still took me a while to get used to it. So I had to kind of like figure out what I wanted to be doing, what I wanted my everyday to look like. And I just kept freaking out and stressing. And I started calling my mom a lot. So my mom, at the time, was also at home. All of her kids are grown. Well, I think my youngest sister had just decided to move back after college, waiting for her diploma to start finding work. Well, she was kind of in the same thing I was, so I was talking to her. I was like, sometimes it's really hard to like figure out what my schedule looks like. Like, do I deserve the effort to like make myself lunch, like, and not just like eat like turkey kind of thing out of the bag because it's just not enough effort? And feeling like I was failing, and she was like, you're fine. So she helped me get through that part. That was really hard to figure out. Like, it's hard not to feel like you're mooching when you're not working and you're just at home, kind of like enjoying being home. And so it was really hard for me to kind of get through. Fast forward some time, I forgot how long it took me, I got it down. I had a schedule, I posted it on the wall, I said this is what's going to work for me. I started to work out every day. I'd finally hit my goal of like working out for 5 days straight. I had the schedule on the wall where like Mondays were litter box and groceries, Tuesdays were doing laundry, Wednesdays were litter box again because it has to be cleaned out regularly. And I had like it down, and I was like, okay, I get up at this time, this is when I'm going to do everything, this is when I'm productive, this is when I get to enjoy myself, and I had everything scheduled, and I felt like I finally had the house under control. Surprise, surprise, about a week after that, I got my first interview for my current job. And I was really excited, still kind of getting through everything, like figuring things out and just rolling with it. Now, this is not to say that I had everything down like perfectly. I still was stressed a lot and still fighting that whole, am I doing enough at the house? Or like if for whatever reason like something happened or something came up and I wasn't able to do one of my things, it's still a little bit of a struggle. But I'd figured out what my days looked like. And so interviews came and I got the job. And it's been trainings, and my schedule's a little weird right now because I still have to go through all of these things, and some of it's in the evening, some things in the middle of the day, some things are, I had an all-day thing recently, I had a morning thing sometimes. So it's still a little, like, we go by, like, weeks right now to schedule ourselves because everybody's still trying to figure out how this is all going to work out. Because there was a lot of us that got hired at the same time. Suddenly, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So I wake up, and this morning, I'll give you a run through of my schedule. I got up, I've been doing the same thing. I get my husband's lunch and coffee ready to go. I didn't go back to sleep. I just stayed up, kind of like scrolled through, slowly waking up, got up, did my bathroom routine, bathroom, wash face, brush teeth, put my contacts on, and so on. And then I made my coffee, figured out what I wanted to wear, went, fed the cats, finished making my coffee, and then sat down, did my makeup. Had trouble with my makeup this morning, by the way, so if it looks great, please let me know in the comments, because this is my third attempt. The eyeliner was wrong the first time, I tried to fix it the second time, and it didn't work out, and I tried for a third time, and it's a little different than I intended, but it was still very frustrating. Anyway, so, and I had some extra time, so I'm doing this video. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to go grab my stuff, make sure I'm ready to go, and then I'm going to go to my visit today, which is my job is to go and visit workplaces anyway. I'll explain that one day, I'm sure. But, so I have to go to my first visit, which is actually across town. So I'm going to go do that. I get off, usually when all of the visits are done, I'm usually done about 1:30. Today it might be like 1:45 just because of the time it might take me to get back because it's a little bit further than it usually is. But either way, go across, do my visit, come back. So about 1:30, I usually, let's say I get home, settled in, 2 o'clock. I'm tired. Don't know why. I don't have an explanation for it. I am just suddenly drop dead exhausted and all I want to do is take a nap. However, that's my whole morning. I haven't done a single chore. I haven't done anything to fix the house. Usually all I get done is the bed, which today I'm very proud of myself. I actually did the sheets and I took the laundry out of the dryer. Step one, I still need to do the laundry at some point. Usually if it's in my way, I will do it. this is where me and my husband fight. He'll just put it aside, and I'm like, please don't do that. I need to do the laundry. But anyway, so I haven't done any chores today, really. So I'm like, okay, when I get home, I need to do dishes. I need to make dinner. I need to do the litter boxes, and I need to water the yard. These are just some things that I used to do on this day. And they're probably not all going to get done before my husband gets home. And that's a little frustrating to me because my days used to look like something and now they don't. And so life rolls on. We got to keep rolling with the punches. And so for me, I know it's going to take me some time. So I'm trying really hard to be patient with myself. And I've started asking my husband for help. And that was really hard for me. So we had a barbecue on Saturday with a couple friends of ours. We did not finish doing those dishes until yesterday. Because we just vegged out on Sunday because we were tired and we just hadn't had a day where we just did nothing. So we did nothing. And so the dishes didn't get done that day. And we did about half the dishes on Monday. Got tired. Well, I think that one he did all the dishes, which I really appreciate. Yesterday, we did the dishes together, and we finally finished. This is not to say there aren't dishes in the sink, because he likes to make tea in the afternoon, and I hadn't probably quite washed a plate, and this and that, and so there's a couple things that we missed. But it's not a lot of dishes, but they still need to be washed. And then his mug needs to be washed when he gets home. Any dishes that I make when I make dinner needs to be washed. And so there's a couple things that will need to be done. But I finally asked him for help that first day. I was like, okay, I can't. I'm tired. It's been a long day. And I asked him for help. And I felt like I was failing, and he just, without missing a beat, just was like, okay, I'm just going to do what I can do. And I was like, that's great. And like I said, it took us few days to get it all done, but just little things like that started to help me kind of acclimate to my new schedule. So I'm still learning and adjusting, but I'm adjusting a little quicker because I've learned that sometimes you need help, sometimes you need to call people. If I hadn't waited so long to call my mom and actually just ask her about what it's like to just be home, maybe I would have adjusted quicker. And when I was home the last time, between jobs, we'd adopted a new cat, so that kept me really busy. But I didn't quite get a lot chores-wise done in the house. And then, before that, when I had just gotten into college and trying to figure out what my day-to-day looked like, I just kind of followed my mom around. Because I was living at home, she still is on this exercise kick that I'm not even sure how she manages to keep herself that motivated all the time. But kudos to her. Hopefully one day I'll get there. But just kind of giving myself a chance to get help from other people. And asking people. Because you're not the only person who's ever gone through something like this. Either losing a job, quitting a job, getting a new job, deciding to stay home, having a kid, getting a cat. Whatever this new phase in your life is, you're not the only person who's ever gone through it. Somebody knows what it feels like and probably help you out. Talk to people. Reach out for help. It's not weakness. If anything, it's strength, because it's really hard to ask for help. And that's helping me now suddenly to just finally come to this realization, even though everybody's been telling me this for years that I need to ask for help. Asking for help has made me better. It's finally helping me feel like I'm adjusting quicker and feel better about not having it all together off the bat. And the other thing is, it's okay to move on from people. Now, I gotta make sure I have a little bit of time for this. But I'm starting to reevaluate where I'm spending my time. Partly because my job doesn't require me to spend time with a bunch of different networking groups, different groups of people, different things like that. And I'm starting to reevaluate where I want to be spending all of my time. Thinking about the relationships that I've had, kind of the things that have gone on in my life, and I'm readjusting. Now, I'm not saying that anybody I've ever met is not a is a bad person. I never want to spend time with them again. It's just, I only have so much time. And there are days where I don't want to go and be with people. There are days that I want to spend it here because I had a busy week, or I've had a busy weeks, and I just want to spend my time at home. So the time that I do go and spend time with other people and go out, I want it to be intentional. I want it to be with people who I've chosen to spend time with because I feel like that friendship is reciprocated. I know part of it's going to be me. I'm going to look at relationships and be like, I probably didn't put that much effort into that. But I still need to be more particular about it. And it's okay. Because your life moves on, and the people who are in it in the beginning of it might not be the people who are in it at the end of it. And that's all right, because we change, we grow, and we need certain people at certain phases in our life, and we don't. Maybe the people who I think maybe I don't have a great relationship with and I stop spending as much time with become the most important people to me, because as time goes on I learn to appreciate them, or they reach out and be like, I'm not going to give you up that easy, and we develop a better relationship. There's a lot of things that could happen, but for now I need to make some decisions because I've been spending my time in a lot of different places, and I used to have that kind of time and now I don't. Not because time changed or I have more or less of it. It's just I'm being more intentional about where I spend it, because I want to spend it with my husband, with my friends, with my family, with my cats. And I want to make sure that the people who I'm calling friends, I'm not friends to one-sidedly. That if I'm friends with them and friends to them, that they're going to be friends to me back. And as much as it sounds like an easy thing to do, I know it's not, and it's going to be really hard. And if you're going through the same thing, maybe we can go through it together. Or if you've been through that, let me know how you got through it. Or share your story, because we can all learn. But life goes on. Just because it takes you a while to get used to it, whenever something changes, doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Just because you have to ask for help doesn't make you weak. Just because some people aren't as important as they used to be isn't a bad thing. So let's all grow positively together. And hopefully it all works out in the end, right? Thanks for listening.